Hey guys, so today I made a mistake and I accidentally had my camera on that setting that records everything in slow motion with no audio. I didn't record anything that interesting anyway. I'll give you a brief rundown of how my day went. I worked all day. I took a nap during lunch. I ate leftovers for dinner, and then I went to a workout. I came home and showered, and here we are. I didn't want to leave you with nothing, so I decided since it's Monday, I'm in a hater mood. There is a lot of trash I could talk about, a lot of random things, people in my workout class, etc. But I'm gonna channel this energy. So I'm going to give you books I did not finish this year. This year I have not put up with anything in books. If I don't like it, it's done. I haven't really done that in previous years. I've suffered through a lot more trying to figure out like what I like in a book. This year I'm like, I want to enjoy the book. It's simple as that. I often take recommendations that I see online for books, and I have learned not to do that. The books that they're recommending on TikTok, oh my gosh, count me out. According to TikTok, The 7 Lives of Evelyn Hugo is like one of the greatest books ever written. That was almost a did not finish for me. My rental time at the library ran out on that book, and I said, okay, bye. And then it like gave me a chance to renew it, so I finished it in one night while I was babysitting a couple years ago, but I had to push to get through it. That book was so bland. I don't know. I was just unimpressed. TikTok is telling me that's the greatest book of all time, and I should have known from that I can't trust anyone on TikTok. But every now and then I still try. If a book is popular and it's available at the library, I might try it. One of the first books I did not finish this year, The Magnificent Lives of Marjorie Post. I've actually heard good things about this book. It was for the Redheads Book Club. I might circle back and read it sometime. The beginning just did not capture me. It was not the right vibe. I stopped in early April. I think I was probably like, no, I need a summer book. Here's a big mistake. One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Did not finish. I think I read 50 pages and there was one line. I wish I remember what it was, but it was so stupid. I showed DJ, I was like, this author thinks I'm dumb because it over-explained something. I wish I could tell you. It was a good example and you would know. You'd be on my side if I could remember. DJ was on my side. Swear on This Life by Renee Carlino. I have no memory of reading this. Maybe that was the one. No, I do remember Swear on This Life because I listened to it as an audiobook. It just wasn't going anywhere. And that was when I was in my bike riding era, and I went out and I was riding my bike, my AirPods died. And once my AirPods died, I stopped listening to the book and I realized I would rather ride my bike with nothing to listen to than put that book back on. So I stopped reading it. And then I tried Happy Place by Emily Henry. Now, Emily Henry is an author that is all over book talk. She has Book Lovers, People We Meet on Vacation, and now Happy Place was the new one. And I've heard mixed reviews, like some people love, some people hate. So I figured if anyone hates it, I'm gonna hate it. So I didn't read People Meet on Vacation or Book Lovers, but in Happy Place, I was like, you know what, I want a cute summer read. I actually read most of it while I was house sitting, and I was literally in their pool on a floaty reading that book. And yet, the vibes weren't there. I got pretty far into the book, actually, I think like 40%, and I just decided I actually don't care. It's again just another romance novel, but it was like, oh, they're exes, like, are they gonna get back together? Like, I don't need to read the book to know they're gonna get back together. It's a romance novel. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I have no memory of. Oh, yep. Another one that just was so freaking slow, not going anywhere, and it was like the plot of The Summer I Turned Pretty, but they were like old, because it was like these two brothers that she's going back. A romance novel that's poorly written, you know they're gonna end up together. It's taking forever to get to the point of them even meeting. Give up on it. And that was one, yeah, early October I stopped it. I had it as like a honeymoon read for right after the wedding. That would be a good time to read a cheesy little romance, right? Why can't there be good cheesy little romances? Oh, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, I didn't finish because I read Deathly Hallows over audiobook while I was in my bike riding phase. It was amazing. I got so into it, I was like crying at the end. And then I was like, I need to read all of them, but they weren't all available at the library. So The next one that was available was Chamber of Secrets, and I just didn't really get into it when I started it again. I guess like you finish the series, you don't need to go back to the second one. And then Little House in the Big Woods. I also wanted to reread those while I was in my bike riding phase. I thought it'd be cute to listen to. See, I started my bike riding phase by putting on Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and it made me realize like some books that I loved as a kid are still good. So then I wanted to circle back, and that is how I ended up attempting to read Cheaper by the Dozen. It's a good book, but I tried to reread it. It just wasn't the vibe. I own it now, so I'll read it to my kids someday, but I couldn't get through it this summer. And then I attempted to start Narnia, but I just never found the time. And Little House in the Big Woods, I found was just so for kids that I didn't need to listen to it, but it was really nice to take a nap. I would put it on and I would fall asleep. And even some parts, like when the dad's playing the fiddle, they put fiddle music on the audiobook, so that was kind of fun. I own James Corden's autobiography on Audible because back when I was like 18, 19, delivering pizzas, I used Audible. I would listen to so many audiobooks, and I would buy every celebrity memoir. I would just get the juice, get the gossip from that. His was like the last one I bought, I guess, when that phase ended. So I recently went back to try to use Audible, catch up on any books I never finished, and his was there. I'm not gonna finish that. He has fallen from grace a bit since I was 18 or 19. I tried to read this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Some random YouTuber was like, this is the best book on finances. And so I was like, maybe I should try it. No, I just didn't care. He just didn't get to the point. Oh, Have I Told You This Already by Lauren Graham. I did that on a road trip. It was 4 hours. I think what actually happened is I was driving through the mountains and I lost service. And once I was back in service, I was like, I don't really care to finish that. I still count that as finished. To be honest, The Woman in Me by Britney Spears, I got to 85%. I consider that read. I'm counting it as finished, but I didn't finish it. I didn't care anymore. I don't know that much about Britney Spears, and this book didn't teach me anything, like about her career. It was all her perspective, but it was all over the place. It was confusing. That's my opinion. If it's not obvious, I just like don't care about romance novels anymore. Not interested in slow burn romance unless maybe if it's like Jane Austen level, like well written. And then there's always people on TikTok talking, they love the enemies to lovers trope. I think that's the worst thing you could give me. I do not like that. First of all, they're always so irrationally mean to each other at the beginning. I've never made it through those books because they're so mean, it's unbelievable. People are not mean to each other in my life. I've never seen that. It doesn't seem real. And then they're like, oh, turns out there's only one bed on this vacation. We have to sleep together. I am not interested. That is not a fun book to me. That is just cringe. I can't believe those are popular. Give me a well-written novel. Mystery is great. Not necessarily like thriller killer vibes, but I've really enjoyed ones where it's just kind of a small town mystery. And what I've realized is I think my favorite kind of book is when you're just kind of following around these characters and they're well written and they're relatable, and then as the book goes on it becomes like all their stories are intertwined and you didn't know how or why they would be intertwined at first. So it's kind of like Love Actually in book form, but they do specifically have to be well written characters that I relate to. My least favorite author is probably Taylor Jenkins Reid. There you go. That's my video for the day. Hope you enjoyed. I hope I stopped you from reading something. And if you strongly disagree if I should pick up any of these books again, if it gets way more interesting than I gave it credit for, let me know. I'll give my favorite books next time that I have nothing else going on in the day.